Hey everybody, Some Gadget Guy here with another FFC vlog, shooting a vlog on the front-facing camera of a phone that I'm reviewing. Today we're shooting this on the front camera on the LG G Flex. And already just looking at this preview, I'm really impressed with the image quality on this front camera. But today I wanted to talk about another one of my pet peeves, and that's people who mistake camera resolution for the quality of the camera. Now, recently I had the pleasure of going out to New York, playing with some Nokia people. We got to hook ourselves up with the new Nokia Lumia Icon. I'm finally going hands-on with the 1520, the Lumia phablet. And every time you pull up one of these little Nokia devices, even something like the 1020, you instantly get that reaction from someone like, oh, that's the phone with 20 megapixels. That's why it's such a good camera. And there is a little truth to that resolution helping the editing process. It allows you to do things like crop more severely or zoom in on your picture. But really, the mark of a good camera has more to do with the image sensor size and the quality of the lens in front of that image sensor. So if all we do is focus on the 41 megapixels on the back of this phone, we'll miss out on all of the other interesting things to talk about why this camera is as good as it is. Case in point, all of these phones right here, be they HTC, Samsung, LG, or even the iPhone, utilize somewhere around a 1/3 inch sensor, usually between 1/3.2 to 1/3. Now that gives you somewhere around 15 to 17 square millimeters of image sensor surface area, which isn't a lot. That's a tiny little sensor. But moving over to one of these Nokia phones, your image sensor bumps up to 1/2.3, just 3/10 shy of a 1/2 inch image sensor, which gives you almost 29 millimeters of image sensor surface area, or if you're doing your math there, about twice as much surface area as what you'll find on all of those other phones. To grossly oversimplify, having almost twice as much surface area means you should be able to soak up almost twice as much light per exposure. Which means in good light, you should be able to use an even faster shutter speed, which is even better for freezing action, so like if you're shooting sports. And in low light, that means you shouldn't have to hit your ISO quite as hard, all other camera settings being equal. And this is why so many of us wannabe photogs are so crazy excited about the camera sensor built into the Lumia 1020, as this moves up from the Icon in the 1520 into a 2/3 inch sensor, almost doubling the sensor size in the Icon in the 1520. This camera's sensor is almost 60 square millimeters. If we go back and you remember, that's almost 4 times the size of the image sensors found in all of these other phones, which means this camera should be able to capture almost 4 times as much light per exposure. And I've produced a whole other video just on the relationship between sensor size and other photographic effects that we find very pleasant, like depth of field. You have substantially shallower depth of field on a camera like the 1020 or on the Icon in 1520 than you do on any of these other sort of smaller 1/3 inch sensor devices. And when we want that cinematic video, when we want those really creamy backgrounds and photographic effects without having to always resort to Instagram filters, that's why these cameras generate as much excitement as they do. It's really just a property of physics. Bigger is better. So folks, I hope that answers a few of the questions that I've been getting, especially in regards to, why these cameras are so good, and the people that are really cynical about the megapixel counts, the 20 megapixel and the 41 megapixel sensors on these cameras being, oh, it's just a marketing gimmick. It kind of is, but it's a beneficial one, especially in terms of cropping and post-production. We get better images out of that extra resolution. But really what makes our photos as photographic and our videos as cinematic as they are comes down to the size of the sensor that's bolted onto the back. And as a reminder, this FFC vlog was shot using the front-facing camera on the LG G Flex, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. Good job, LG. This is looking pretty good. As always, folks, thanks so much for watching, sharing, subscribing, leaving me comments, getting into debates, conversations. And if you have any questions about the cameras on our phones or the cameras that we can buy separate from our phones, definitely drop me comments below. Find some of my other videos. I've got some fun stuff coming up soon. I'm really excited to be sharing it all with you guys, and I will catch you all on the next video.